So one thing that's unique about a circle compared to the polygons and quadrilaterals we just finished talking about is they can be expressed directly with an equation, much like a line or parabolas can be. And so the equation for our circle is represented by x minus h, the quantity squared, plus y minus k, the quantity squared, equals r squared. Now, what are all of those pieces? Well, r is our radius. Now notice it's r squared, so to pull the radius out of the equation, you have to take the square root. And then our center is at hk. Now, be very aware that the formula is negatives. So when you're looking at this, h and k come out of this. So if it happens to be x plus h, the quantity squared, then what's going to come out is negative h and whatever k is, because you'll want to think about this as x minus a minus h, so that you put it in the exact same format of our equation. And you'll see those with the examples. So let's look at an example. Write an equation for the circle with a radius of 4, so r is 4, centered at the origin. The origin is at 0, 0, and that's our hk. So then we just fill everything in. So we have x minus 0, the quantity squared, plus y minus 0, the quantity squared, equals 4 squared. We clean it up. X squared plus y squared equals 16. And that's the equation for a circle. We can also write equations of a circle based on a picture. Sometimes it requires a little bit of work. So here's my hk. That's given to me. But what I'm missing is my radius. Remember, a radius is from the center to a point. That's a segment, and we know how to find the length of a segment, and for that we use the distance formula. So my radius is going to be equal to 2 minus 4, the quantity squared, plus 4 minus 8, the quantity squared. And so this is going to be negative 2 squared plus negative 4 squared, all still under the square root. Don't lose that. Please remember a negative number squared is always, always, always a positive number. So I have 4 plus 16 still under the radius or the radical. So I have the square root of 20. You're going to want to leave things as exact radicals, because when I go to write my equation now, I have x minus 2, the quantity squared, plus y minus 4, the quantity squared, equals the square root of 20 squared. This cleans up nicely. I don't have anything to worry about in the front, so I have x minus 2, the quantity squared, plus y minus 4, the quantity squared. The square root of 20 squared is 20. So that is the equation of this circle. Given an equation, we can pull the center and radius out of it, and we can graph. So if we think about that x minus h, quantity squared, plus y minus k, quantity squared, is equal to r squared. Here's that situation where it says plus, but my formula is minus, so I want to think about this as x minus 6. There's nothing with this y, so what does that mean? Well, that means it's really a 0. And what's the square root of 25? It's 5 squared. So my center is at negative 6, 0, and my radius is 5. So this graph is a little off center, but negative 6, 0 is right here. My radius is 5, so I go 5 in every direction, horizontal and vertical, and connect the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have our circle.